Hello and welcome guys. On this video, I will show you how to make a wine glass with another different tools. So on my previous video, I already showed you how to make a wine glass by using just the Extrude tools. And now I will show you another way to do it. So as you can see in the files here, this is the one that I use Extrude tool to make a wine glass. But then there's our easier way to do it. So on this video, I will just show you how to make it. This is gonna be really easy and simple. If you haven't watched any of my videos, you should click the eye icon above on the right hand side of the video around here, where it will take you to all my videos about Mayas. So on this video, I will be covering the tools called Curve Tools and the Revolve Tools. So let's get started then. Okay, so if you launch up your project files, it will be nothing in blank here. I'm not gonna go full detail which buttons I press now, since I already covered most of it on my last 3 videos. And if you have any trouble, as I said, go back and watch my video. So on this video, I'll just go straight forward and go into more professional tools and more quicker way to do the same thing, but then faster, easier. Okay, same deal. Go to Google, find some image of the wine glass you wanted. In this case, as I said, I already have the image files of my wine glass right here. I can just click and import it in. As I said, go into this access wheel, align it properly. It's gonna be faster and easier, as I mentioned. Okay, after you align it approximately in centers, as much as you think it will look like as centers. Now, in this perspective view, you can see that now it's fully centered now, alright? Just move on to the next thing immediately, which is start drawing a curve tools, the curve of the line itself, alright? So go into create curve tools and just using CV curve tools. You don't need to go into any extra preference or anything, just click on it. Start with the one below here. Now, this is something that's quite important now. If you have the image reference, remember this project or this step will only work if you have image reference. So it's gonna start by drawing in 2Ds. Alright, you will see what I mean afterward. By starting, you click, you zoom it in real close as you think you need to. For me, approximately around this is nice. You don't need to go full detail on it, just a rough overall shape of it. You first click on the centers, like middle centers of the line, and start clicking. If there's like a curved area where it's curved than usual, you should have a little bit more dot on it. But for now, it's just overall shape that you want it to be. Don't need to be perfect. Just click. And now I'm gonna speed up the video, because this is fairly easy. If you not sure where to click, you can follow my click, where I'll just click approximately and show you what it's gonna be like. Okay, now, so I want to mention a few things. If you're making mistakes, you can always use Ctrl+C or Ctrl+Z or Command+Z or Command+C for Mac users to go back each step. So in this case, you don't need to go fully the top of the tip of the glass yet. There will be something that you need to take care of as well. So before I do that, I want to show you something. You will see a new blue line all the time, which is the line that it will be creating after we're done with this. So there's a kind of like red, darker red tint of the line, a dot, and then red, orange, dark colors of it. And then there's a blue, dark blue colors of it, which is mean that the dot we're making and then the line that it created, which will be the final outcome of it. The final outcome will be the dark blue one. Alright, so you can see how it will turn out or look like from the overall shape. Alright, now back to the top of the glass here. So you see, if you watch my previous video, which is I will make a tip of the glass and then go back down inside of it, which is quite important to show the inside glass where it's not fully hollow, it's just like a glass. It should look like, not just a plain flat shape of the shape itself. So what you need to do is just follow a bit by bit up, and now you need to add more dot around here, where you add this dot here, another dot there, then another dot there, to create like a, you see I'm drawing somewhat like a triangle tip up here, but then the final outcome of the blue, dark blue line is gonna curve in. Okay, so now what you need to do is just go down, follow the dark area of the line, outline of the glass itself down. So what is the benefit of doing this? Then extruding tools, you will be able to create somewhat a really precise looking glass than extrude tools, which is you will be able to create a really good looking glass and perfectly aligned than normal extruding tools. Alright, so now I'm gonna speed up the video as usual. So now you don't need to go fully accordingly to the glass itself, but you just approximate. Alright, and then as again, if you have trouble, you can Control C to undo it as many times as you want it. And now you stop at the center, somewhat center of the glass. I think this should be fine here. So you see, this is how glass where the dot look like. Okay, alright, here. And for every video I made, you will see that, for example, if you make a mistake now, if you're done and then you feel like, oh, this area here is not quite nice, you can click back to, which is a mouse key, which is the mouse. It's gonna turn green, which is you've selected. Now you need to right click on it if you can. Go to Control Vertex. Now it will show every dot that you previously created, and now you can now click on each individual dot, W, to move it, align it in the way you want it now. You can also, in this same view, click and drag around a bit just to make it look somewhat precise. Do like a minor change. Oh, and then if you like accidentally click out of it or select the background image reference, you can do it again here. So let's just say I'm happy with this. Before you go and do anything else, I want to show you what it looks like as this. So if you go back to perspective view, you see that there's a line, a curved line, a flat curved line here. Let me move this thing out. So you don't need to use any image reference anymore. So let me just move it back. You see, I just have this glass here. What now? So in the 2D flat front view, it's just like aligning perfectly. You go to the perspective view, click on it, easy peasy. Remember, it needs to be only one side of it. You don't need to fully draw two sides of the glass, because like you're gonna use the tools called Revolve, where it will fully revolve the shape into a wine glass. Here, when you click on it, it's gonna become like this, and it's done. Well, not fully done. If you press 1, it's gonna look like a polygon, what is this, hexagon shape, if I count correctly. Yeah, I think so. Shape like polygon shape, which is not quite as smooth as it needs to be. But overall, you're already done. You press 3 to make it smooth. It's the same deal as my previous video where I create a cylinder shape which is not fully circular, so that you start off with less polygon and then you can add polygon more afterward. Alright, okay. Most of the time this will always work with a shape that have a revolve from like y-axis, which is a green line here. You can just move it around or something like that and set it up. And if you're done with it, fully done with it, you just like settle this as a final models. I recommend to duplicate it by Control D and then move it up. So now you have a shape, fully functioning shape that's not connected to this line here. So this is like a master line where if you move the line, you see your shape will still fully connected to the ground line here. If you move it or change it, it will fully mess the shape that you wanted. So if you already done adjusting and everything, recommended to duplicate it out. Okay, so now that this shape and this shape are now two different shapes that's not connected at all. Okay, same deal. Now we're done. We can delete it, either delete it or keep it back up in somewhere else where you need to create a shape again, or you will need to redo the drawing from new reference. But now we're already done with that reference. I'll just put it here. Let's see the model first. You see how different it is when I try to follow the same image, but different way to do it. You see, the glass shapes are somewhat similar, but then when you not smoothing it, you see how much polygon and how much like hexagon and things different from the software itself. Okay, so let's just add smooth and that. Okay, you see, it's different. It depends on which kind of taste or which way you think you want to do. See how much polygon is divided out and stuff like that. Okay, let's just move this aside, and we are adding water inside. I will do this quick because like in my previous video I already made a water inside. So what I didn't aware is that it will not work. So the way this shape function is different than what we have. Alright, so let's just say that when you're creating this, if you guys know, I'm not fully professional, but if you guys know how to, you can comment down below and tell me how do you extract the shape out of this. Okay, so basically the way this shape function is different than the polygon that we have, it doesn't allow me to like duplicate the shape out of it, because it's a surface or a curve. So hello, it's me from the futures now. So in the video I addressed a problem where I cannot make a water in the wine glass itself due to the shape we create into a surface curve and surface mode. The thing we need to do, the mistakes that I made, and then you need to do is, if you want to create this into a polygon itself, the way that I do, I just click revolve, and then it just created a wine glass that using a curve and surface mode, which is not what we wanted. If you want to like just leave it like this, it's fine. It's gonna work as normal as should be. It's gonna be like one object and you can add Hypershade and everything, but then you cannot modify it as much as you want it to be, or at least in this case it need to be a polygon or like poly modeling mode where you will be able to mess around with it completely. So you need to go to advanced mode here, and then just follow my step here. There's a lot of objects and then mode that you don't understand, and I don't quite understand as well, but let's just assume that we want it to be y-axis, which is here in the middle. This object mode cube, and then now you go into output geometry, into instead of this one which is NURBS, we change to polygon. And now I don't fully understand here, but then you need to make it select quad, and then as a default setting that they have, apply that. The problem that you will get is that it's kind of overlapping, which is not quite nice, but then you need to spending some time fixing it. So now you have a polygon, right? You can just duplicate out so that this line doesn't affect our shape anymore. Now in here you need to go inside and slowly select the edge, and then from the inside, and then move it in little by little. Okay, that's a problem here, but then I'll just go it quick so that you can see the differences. So now if you move it in a bit, you will have a better looking glass now, as you see. So you need to fix a bit, but then remember that now it's a polygon, so that no matter what you did now here, you can actually create or using everything as it need to be, as a polygon should work. So you have face mode, vertex modes, and then edge mode and object mode, UV, and everything that normal things you have. So now you go into face mode and you start pen select inside. I don't want to go full in depth what I do here, since I already made a video on my previous video how to extract this shape out and then make a wine inside. Okay, So I'm just gonna do it real quick so it doesn't wasting my and then you guys time, which. So now when you extract your shape out, you can just do as normally as you need to do it. Extract out, duplicate, move up, create, extrude it out. And this is gonna be beyond what you need to do here and there, but then this is like some touch that you can create to make this glass water inside here look nice in a way. Alright. So now that it's done, so the effects come out the same, alright, no matter what here, but then instead of just creating, just press surface and revolve, you need to go into advanced option and then messing around and make it output into, instead of NURBS, you output into the Polygon. That's all differences there is, okay? So I hope that this quick video that I just like slice in the middle will help you understand and change a little a way you proceed and making shape instead. If you don't understand how to make the water inside, just go to my previous video and skip to a part where I make waters. Alright, let's move on and then I will just continue my video like normal. I'll just copy it from another shape, which is not fully what we wanted, but let's just say that this is gonna be the closest that we will get. So the mistakes I made is that if it works, you should try to create into polygons, and then you can use this tool to mess around and play around and extrude it afterward. But then if you do that, if you do like this, it's still being the curve and surface mesh, which is not what we fully wanted, but it works the same way. I'll delete background image. And here is the final product of tool. If you want to know how to make water inside, you can go into my previous video and watch it, what it look like, okay? If you have any questions, you can tell me down below, okay? So now I will try rendering it. Let's add some background and some light. You see the difference between these two, where one is just using polygons and then another one use curved tools. Just don't mind the water inside. Water inside just like more aesthetics advantage. You see that the way I draw curve here is more thicker in a way where it reflects more light, but then for this one it's kind of like more thinner. You can see the water dripping down, and it depends on each aesthetics you like. So it doesn't fully matter what you like or what you not like here. Just pick one way to do it. But then for this one, using curve tool is much more faster and easier to do and not fully precise. But then in the final outcome, it looks much more nicer. Let me remove the smoothing effects of it. Press 1. Now you see where things fall apart. And where my software fall apart as well. Isn't that nice? You will see that if I forgot to smooth it in, see how much curves and corners are different on this. You can see that, I hope that you can see that the shape without smoothing for the curve tool look much more nicer than the polygon one. Should pause this. Alright, so here is like about it for this video. There's a lot of more things that you can do with just these two tools, which is one with extrude and then this with the curve tools. So let's just say that you can create mostly every shape that based on like cylinder shape from now on, with just only these two tools. Right? There's so many more ways you can use. For example, you're making water bottles, you make a cup, you make basically every rounded shape. A ball, if you don't want to create a curve, like a circular shape at the beginning. Let's just compare this. Alright, so it's gonna take a while to fully rendering out. So let's just end the videos here. There's a multiple way to approach to create just one simple thing. So I'm just only show tools. You guys may have another way to do it. Comment down below and share your thought. And you see that there's always a few differences between techniques and stuff. The mistakes I made on this curve 2 video where I didn't fully change it to Polygon, and you cannot fully play around that much, and I'm not fully experienced on that side yet. So right now I'm fully learned all about poly modelings. That's all I have been using. So you'll see my weak point there. So don't forget to share, like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this or learn something on this video. And follow, if you can follow, you better try get Maya for educational purposes. You have 3 years to try on and play around with it. You can just follow my videos. I will keep making Maya's video no matter what happens, to show off and to reflect what you can do by this simple software. I mean, not simple tools, but advanced software. Let's just say in that way. Okay, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this video. For sure, on this next video, I will be covering the tools called Hypershade. Tools called Hypershade, and I will fully in-depth detail on Arnold rendering and surface AI surface, where I will show photorealistic rendering. After you make all the cool wine glass and cool bottles and stuff, you can show off to other people like, hey, look what I made in 3D. There. That's one way to show off, and this is basically how we do it. Okay. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe. See you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoy and learn something. Okay, bye.